fan of the Hauraki Big Show podcast? Make sure you check out more from Jase, Mike and Keyzie on their Instagram at Hauraki Big Show, or tune in to them 4 to 7 every weekday on Radio Hauraki. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, man.
Thanks, fellas.
Hey, guys.
G'day, mate.
Hey, moving forward, I've got to do a podcast every time we go away. We should do that, eh? Just a little 10-minute.
What do you mean?
Individually while we're away. We could have been doing a daily diary, Jase, you and me.
Yeah.
A couple of potties coming out. Didn't occur to me until sort of halfway through the week when I heard Matt Heath's one that he was doing for...
What, just you guys? That would be shit.
Yeah,
no, on our own,
actually,
individually,
to be fair,
yeah.
mine wouldn't have been very exciting.
No, I think it'd be... But it's the mundane nature of
yes,
things,
yes.
you know.
Could have had a hospital chat with you.
A little bit of hospital chat. Yeah, that would have been good. What a break, eh?
Are you doing that thing where you've been away and you had lots of work on and it was heavy admin and then you got sick?
No, I didn't get sick. I've managed to avoid that. So what I did was I went down to Wellington, and let me just say, what a beautiful place.
Yeah.
What a beautiful place. 7 degrees, 9 degrees, 11 degrees,
Wow.
120 kilometre hour northerlies.
Nice.
Oh, no, I tell a lie, southerlies. Absolutely fucking freezing place. It is just unbelievable how cold it is. But at the same time, I love it.
Yeah.
But geez, man, like it was a real shock to the system down there. So I went down there. Great time. The wife was working down there, which is the reason I went down. So pretty much didn't even lay eyes on her.
Yes.
And just hung out with the kid. But came back for an acting job on the Wednesday.
Yes.
The Wednesday there. And then
I was watching that, Keyzie.
flew back on the Wednesday to work on the Thursday, with a view to flying back either Thursday night or Friday, depending on how it went. Thursday, about 10 in the morning, get an email. Lead actor's got COVID. We're shutting down for the rest of the week.
Oh, God.
So you haven't done it yet?
So it was a complete waste of time.
Wow.
But I did a day today, but I still owe them now 2 days.
Right.
So the idea of getting it all done on the week off is not happening. Not happened.
It's weird that COVID's still going on. Just to sort
And
of...
quite bad. It's quite bad version of it.
To give you a stark contrast weather-wise, Mogi, I went to Sydney and stepped out of the airport there.
Yeah.
33 degrees.
Right in your face.
33 degrees.
Fahrenheit.
It was magnificent. And what it did for me is it made me go, my God, it feels like we've never had a summer in New Zealand. It was but it was hotter than the middle of summer in New Zealand. It was magnificent.
Let me guess, you want to move to Sydney now?
Nah.
You've had daydreams of opening a radio studio in Sydney somewhere?
I will tell you this. I did hear a bit of radio over in Australia. God, it's shit. Mm-hmm. I reckon our show...
I've heard that before.
I genuinely believe our show would go great guns in Australia.
Well, Jerry
it would
was
be massive.
Jerry was doing a fair amount of radio content this morning because he was over in Australia. And so he was listening to Australian radio and then stealing their ideas and sort of relaunching them this morning.
Funny.
I don't get to hear it. He was just saying that he was going to do it. And then I switched it off. Switched over to the breeze.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be onto this, Smokey, in terms of, what do you call it? Say, because... people did it over here. They'd record a show overseas and then send it to another country. What's that, syndicating?
Yeah, syndicating.
Syndicating. Yeah. Can we do that?
You can do it if there's an appetite for it. I think you sort of have to get to sort of peak Hamish and Andy levels.
That's right.
Weirdly, they got huge in Australia and then we just got introduced into New Zealand. I vaguely remember them having a Saturday show here, but there was a TV show probably first.
So, yeah, Hamish and Andy, first of all, it's never New Zealand to Australia. It's Australian
Not yet,
people to
Keyzie.
New Zealand.
Let's change that,
mate.
Right,
Keyzie.
yeah.
Let's change that, buddy.
Hamish and Andy, the reason they brought them in here is because we had Rove on TV back in the day, where they had the regular segment.
Sure.
And then
Whatever happened to him?
He's still going.
Oh, he had Rove LA
Yeah.
for a while, didn't he?
Yes, that was
did,
shit.
yeah.
That was all right.
No, it was terrible.
I didn't actually watch
Nice
it.
little fella.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice little fella.
Rove McMahon.
It's like a happy version of Jase.
Yeah. Like a good-looking version of Jase.
Yeah,
Jase is a McManus as well.
Yeah. Are you saying I'm a misery guts, Keyzie?
Nah, just joking, Jase.
You're
Just
miserable.
joking, Jase.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah. I think you're right, though. I think they would love it.
We've got this magnificent beast in Studio B, i.e. Pugs.
Yeah.
Man, he could package it all up, fellas, and they just slotted in some time slot, the drive show in Sydney.
I love how I love how your understanding of how easy stuff is to like schedule and stuff. You know, just package it up, no worries. Chuck it on a little in a
We'd
box
have to
and send it
increase
over.
our sports chat.
Right,
that is an absolute cornerstone of Australian radio.
Yeah, there was a lot of sport chat.
Yeah.
We'd have to bag Shane Van Gisbergen for winning the Bathurst.
Do we?
Yeah, because they're sick of that Kiwi coming over.
Oh,
and
good.
dominating.
Well, that's good, though. That's a positive thing that they're saying there.
Yeah,
A little bit of, Aussie hate on radio would be good. They'd like that.
Sure. I had a very funny Uber driver over in Australia, and he...
What was his name?
Phil,
Rodney,
I think.
Rodney Roode.
No, Phil.
Kevin Bloody Wilson.
He was very like Rodney Roode.
Sure.
Phil.
Every second word was an F-bomb for a
Sure,
start, and
yeah.
I went, I kind of like this guy. And we got into a chat about travelling overseas. I was saying that I was over there to see my daughter, etc. And he said, oh, yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of travel. And he basically just told me all these stories of how he went to sort of Southeast Asian countries all around the place, took massive amounts of drugs and got himself into all sorts of trouble.
Well, that's what you want with your
And
travel.
how he misses doing that,
Yeah.
I'd
agree with that.
Yeah.
That's good. That is a good
Because
holiday.
usually Uber drivers quite conservative because they got to sort of check you out a little
They're
bit.
concerned about the score. Well, we
Yeah.
might get into that in the show about the Uber driver that I booked my mother from the airport yesterday. That was good time.
That's hilarious. When I read that, I was just like, that's awesome.
That was unreal. Yeah, and I'll tell you the conclusion to that.
Marge
as well.
would not be happy.
Oh, filthy with her head sticking out of the sunroof.
Because she's a giant.
Because she's 7'8".
Yeah.
And anyway, what else happened this week? This was good. Down at Welly there, and couldn't go and see. My daughter couldn't go and see her cousin, who's a couple of years old, because he was sick. He had like a bad flu, and it just went day after day after day. We were there for a week. We never got to see him because he was so sick. Just said, I don't really want to get it. I don't want the kid to get it. And then on the last night we were there, Zara's mum came round, who lives with them, and was sick and gave it to us.
Disease. It's all good times, man.
Are you sick? No, I'm all right. Not all right. And then Frankie just so she woke up at 2:00 last night, just snot. You know what?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Unreal. So I've been awake since 2 a.m.
Good times, man.
It's been pretty good, and I'm hoping tonight she'll sleep all the way through. That's my dream.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie. The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Do you get that, Keyzie?
What's that, man?
Get a bit blocked up and stuff?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
And well, you've heard me be nasally, but when I
Like
get
now.
snotty,
Well, like now.
Yeah.
oh, I'm not that nasally, am I?
Yeah, quite.
Really?
Yeah, big weekend.
Well, not a big weekend. A reasonable one
Oh,
on
you had a
Saturday
pretty
night
big one,
with
yeah.
my whānau
Yeah.
down in Tauranga, celebrating my brother passing his apprenticeship,
Sweet.
Yeah, boy.
and me and Dad and
What's
Mum
his
and
apprenticeship in?
Nana, mechanic.
Oh, so there's two mechanics in the family.
Oh, that
Well,
is so...
Don's not a mechanic.
And the black sheep.
Because he can help you.
He does
your-
all the mechanical stuff.
Your truckie.
Dad does with my truck. Dad does the sort of body side of things, the panel beating and the fabricating.
Yeah.
And then my brother's the mechanic.
And you take the photos.
And I take photos and film them
So schmeared.
and talk about them on the radio. Yeah. So-
Actually, I found out that my daughter, who has that magnificent car that I got for her,
oh, the
Oh,
teeter.
yeah.
the Teeter with the leather interior,
Yeah.
which I was very...
Which we're saying now is yours.
I know, but actually I did give it to her.
Yeah.
Reluctantly and sadly.
You're a backbone.
Well, the good
She,
news is there's about 1,000 more of them for sale right
Not
now.
like
that.
this one,
Not like that,
Keyzie.
Keyzie.
Oh, really?
Not like this one.
Not
Come
with
on,
the-
man.
There's not two
Keyzie!
people. There's not two people on the face of the earth who would do that. Who would waste their time doing that to a teeter.
But she's got a new job, and she's been given a van. And so...
You don't even need it.
And so there's that magnificent Teeter just sitting there.
Gathering rust.
no,
Yeah.
accumulating value. Going up, man.
Oh, no
yeah.
doubt.
A classic like that.
Yeah.
Totally, man. So I was like, oh.
I love that someone, when they ordered that teeter in mid 2000s, asked for it with brown leather, because that's not a factory sort of thing. You would have had to specifically order that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I gave it a Google and it exists, but yeah.
Boy, does it.
Does it add more comfort? I'm not sure.
I don't
whether
think it
does.
would.
Hey, I'll be deadly serious.
Oh yeah.
The most comfortable car seat I've ever sat in.
But you've your whole life sat in shit boxes.
I've had... Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm trying to think of the flashiest car that I've had.
That'll be it.
And
you've given it away.
Yeah, that probably would have been it. But I sat in it and just went, ooh.
Ooh la la, $5,000. Feels good.
Got a bit of a half mongrel going. Come on, Keyzie, what's wrong with
Jase,
you, man?
You know, you've
Come
had
on, brother.
You've
we're
had
back.
a successful career in broadcasting, mate. You should, hopping in a teeter shouldn't be like the height of luxury
Oh,
for you.
I like it.
Oh,
I
same.
like a man of simple taste.
Thank you,
I'm the
Mogi.
same. I mean, I've got a couple of trucks, and sure, they're the envy of everybody on the street, but
Yes.
they're not as expensive
Aqua.
as they look.
But just on the successful broadcasting career, Keyzie, by that you're insinuating that I've been massively paid.
Yeah, that's right.
Right,
And
yeah,
that is quite a big assumption. I can assure you that's not the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I spent the entire week driving an electric vehicle,
Oh, how did that go?
reviewing it. I like. No, my dad and my brother, who are just like adamant against EVs,
Yeah.
mechanics, they both do drag racing. They have old V8 cars. We all do. I've got an old V8 truck as well.
That they made for you, yeah.
That we restored together as a family.
Oh, you're trucky.
Yeah. Everyone took turns at driving it, even my dad. And
There's cool Mogi.
came all Jase, no one can see who you're talking about. It's just a random guy outside the studio.
Having a durry.
Everyone in my family drove it and had a go in it and came to the conclusion that they really liked it.
Nice.
And it was awesome.
Did it have a leather interior?
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't, yeah.
Well, it had like semi-leather because you don't want the back of your chair being leather because you sweat. So on the sides it's leather, and then in the middle it's like fabric, and it's like fully electric. It's epic. A video for
good
that'll
car chair,
come
eh?
out in a couple
Is that
of
if
weeks.
you get like a sweaty nurse?
Yeah. Or if you're driving heaps, you know.
Because you don't want to ruin the leather with a sweaty nurse.
Well, it shouldn't ruin.
Ah.
It shouldn't ruin the leather if you're sweaty, unless it's fake leather, which your teeter definitely has.
Do you guys
It's
want to
not fake, man.
hear a funny story?
Yeah.
Sure, man.
When I was doing filming on that show, and I have to wear they've called it a dancer's, do you know what this is called, Jase? I don't know if you've had to wear one of these before.
Is it the?
A dancer's thong, maybe it is. Or a dancer's
Skin
something
coloured?
or other.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've worn one of
Effectively,
those.
it's a G-string. And I had, it was a long day. It's a long day in that bastard.
Just in that.
There was other things going on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was on all day. Right up there.
Skin colour?
It was sort of, the string was really more of a rope. It was like a corded, it was really fucking...
Like a shoelace or something? Or?
No, rope.
Thick.
It was
Wow.
thick as fuck. It was not enjoyable at all. And the costume person said, "Oh, you'll forget about, you
won't
forget
notice, yeah.
Not true. I thought about it all day. Right, and then at the end of the day, had to get changed. Oh, I just chucked that in the laundry. Of course, it had been spending quite a lot of time in my asshole.
Pugs is looking really horrified by this.
Ah, is it?
And so I couldn't just put it in the wash.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to take it with me. I hid it and I put it in my pocket and I took it into the Portaloos and I gave it a hand wash. And then took it back and they're like, "Why'd you take that?" I said, "We don't need to get into it.
Yeah, we won't discuss
Don't
that.
worry about it."
I think I've told you guys a story.
Hang on, also,
But
just
don't you
quickly.
think that's considerate? Most
That is
people do.
considerate,
Yeah.
but also that they're obviously reusing them.
Well, I think it will have my name on it and I will use it again next time.
Right.
Yeah. It'll be with my costume.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had this for my one and only sex scene in a short film I did.
Very short.
I was given, and I think I've told you guys a story, and hand on heart, true story.
Yeah.
A similar thing.
You got a massive full mongrel.
A thong, a brown sort of skin coloured thong, right? And I put it on, and it must have been a woman's one because my balls were hanging over the.
But
My balls. I'm not lying.
you told me you had it on backwards.
But no,
Like legs on each side of a horse.
So my bullus was sort of, and I swear to God, the wardrobe department, they split it and put like this elastic thing in the middle so that it gave me more
Right,
coverage for my.
Would you say that you've got
member.
huge balls? Because that's a balls issue. It's got nothing to do with you. I don't have big balls.
No, I wouldn't say my bullus were big,
No.
But
What about your...
yeah, I mean, certainly.
Don't try and convince everyone you've got a massive penis again, all right?
Certainly other areas, you know. I don't want to get into details.
Yeah, you do.
But, you know.
What about your two scrotums? So you have one scrotum sitting on either side.
And that was pretty humiliating too, actually, having to wear that in the scene, especially when, you know, you're bumping and grinding.
The part that I found humiliating about it was that because now they have intimacy coordinators.
Yes.
And that's what I find humiliating as them, because I'm sort of the one that's being intimate, as it were. So it's very much focused on, okay, so everybody, Mike's been very vulnerable in this moment, so if we could, and I'm not ridiculing them for what they do, it's an important job for somebody that is worried about it. And so there was quite a lot of people in the scene, and I just said, look, the only thing that makes me uncomfortable is constantly being asked if I'm okay. So if we could just never mention what's going on, and if I've got a problem at any stage, I'll let you know. Yeah, and they were like, okay, that's good.
Were you all good, though?
Oh, yeah, as good as gold.
Yeah, sweet. Loving it. So good, fellas. Welcome back.
Thanks, mate.
Your Hauraki Big Show Keyzie word of the day is...
Skid mark. We're back, Pugs.
Yeah,
We're
man.
back, baby.
Package it up,
Yeah,
Pug.
boy.
Package it up, fellas. Hey, Jase.
Pardon?
Huh? Don't forget, send all 5 Keyzie words for the week into the Hauraki Big Show and your
that's
cell
today.
phone number,
no,
Jase.
because we didn't do it.
And your cell phone number, and we could call you Monday with a prize. Also, follow us on
Losers.
Instagram, Mr. Mike Minogue, Hoity J, Chris Key, and Z, and call me Pugs. Jase.
Oh, thanks, mate.